Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GRP. Some technical difficulties going on. Infinity's supposed to be on, but he's having some audio issues. So we just roll with the punches here, man. It happens. We all know I have a bunch of technical difficulties. So that's why my wife was just texting me right now too, being like, I heard you talking, but only your intro's going on. I'm like, no. Yeah, you'll know in a minute. So hopefully he gets things worked out. I told him that I would just get the show going and get started for now. And hopefully in a few minutes we can be like,
what's up, brother?
And he'll be here to answer. But yeah, it's not a whole lot going on because last week there was no UFC, but there was a boxing match, Masvidal versus Diaz. So we're going to get into talking about a little bit of that. Hopefully Infinity. Oh man, I got a fucking gnat or something in my room and it's like keeps flying in front of me. So if you see me going like this, it's because I'm fighting off flies, not because I'm having trouble with stuff like Infinity is. I saw Magic's in the chat. What's up? What did he say? Oh, I thought it said something else. It's all what's up, homie. Apparently the monocaster directly is not working for Infinity. I wish I had that drop. Yeah, if you watch Technically Unsound podcast, you might know what I'm talking about. But if not, you should tune in on Tuesdays and Sundays because we always reference stuff that happens on that show. But yeah, because we're always playing different sound bites and stuff, and yeah, we fuck around a lot. So, but it's fun, and yeah, if you want to hear me talk about something other than MMA, you can go watch me over there. And Tommy's looking into doing different things. So if we do a channel change at some point, I'll let you know about that as well. But the name's gonna stay the same. We were just talking about different ways of making things work better, happen differently, or something. But yeah, I've been trying to do different stuff with this channel as well, just to kind of follow along with things that you're supposed to do on YouTube. So hopefully some of those things are taking place. It's Magic said that's what he gets for talking shit. I will say he does get you with that sound all the time, and it's hilarious. And I just saw your comment go away because I think YouTube didn't like it. But yeah, so I mean, if you look in that bottom, let's see, if you're looking at the screen, the bottom right hand corner, you'll see a little Going Rounds logo, and that is because I just put that in there. Basically, it's a quick and easy way for you to, during the show, not have to back out or do anything else. You can click on that and you can subscribe to the show if you're watching and haven't subscribed already. Quick and easy way to do that. So if you've ever seen that in someone else, oh, Magic's removed it. If you ever see that on anybody else's video, that's what it's for. It's a little watermark. It helps everyone know what you're watching while you're watching it, in case the branding's not there already. But yeah, and it's a quick and easy way, which I mean, I can honestly say if I knew, I forgot, but yeah, I didn't know you could just click on that and subscribe from there. So easy enough. I'll be adding little extras here and there whenever I can, just to make things better, do all the things you're supposed to do on YouTube to help grow. And yeah, you guys can help me by liking this video and sharing it with somebody and making sure that you're subscribed. And if you want to go a step further, hit that notification bell, and that'll tell you when I'm live or when I put out any kind of content whatsoever. And that way you don't miss it. But we are live here every Thursday, 7 p.m. I'm just trying to see if Infinity is going to be able to make it. I know the feeling of having trouble and things not working. It's a pain in the ass. So, but the difference is if my things don't work here, then this show doesn't happen today at all. Infinity, don't be... He can hear me. I know he can hear me. He just has kind of his be right back scene up there as filler, so we don't see him go crazy as he's trying to figure out the problem. But Infinity, if you can hear me. See, there he is. Don't feel bad, man. If you can't get it figured out, no worries. I can keep going. I know though, it sucks. Yeah, he's back there trying to figure it out, but I'm not sure. It might take a little extra time. Worst case scenario, man. I just get going, finish going through my little intro here, and I can yeah, you can just jump in whenever. So don't worry about me. I just feel bad that you aren't able to get in and actually have things work. So, but that's technology, man. It sucks sometimes, and it is what it is. Do you do karate? No, I do not do karate. I never have. Cold Art Maker is back. Good interactions and good questions. I wasn't expecting that one. I actually thought it was one of the other guys that was commenting. I was like, I'm definitely Mexican, in case you didn't know. Oh, man. Anyway, we're talking about Infinity's technical difficulties, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it. So until then, we'll just keep going, and hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July. Was that the last thing that happened? Have I had a show since then? I think I did. Maybe. I don't even remember. My days are all screwed up because I was off for... Oh, yeah, the show was on 4th of July. That's what it was. So, we didn't do a whole lot for 4th of July. Nothing big. But this past weekend, I did go and watch my team, the Braves, against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Is the July 13th card trash or good? Actually, it's pretty decent. That's what we're going to hit up here in a little while when I get to that portion of the show. We're definitely going to preview that. I like the main event, Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. That's a pretty good fight right there. You know, the women, you get what you get. Sometimes you get a good, crazy, exciting fight, and sometimes it's kind of boring, unfortunately. I mean, it's like that with all the fights, but it happens a lot more with the women. So, but I'm expecting this one to be good. Rose has been involved in that one really, really bad fight with Carla Esparza where she lost her belt. But I'm thinking she's on a tear now, just trying to get back into things. So I'm hoping that that's going to light a fire under her. And this is going to be a good one. Tracy Cortez is coming out there for a win. That's for damn sure. So, again, we'll get into that here in a little bit. I'm trying to give Infinity some time, see if he can get things figured out so he can join back in, which would be great. But if not, no big deal. I see he got out of the room, so you'll see just the going around symbol here in a minute. Looks like he might be coming back. Now I'm commentating what's happening with him. This is funny though. I mean, at least we could talk about. Oh man, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. Yeah, I've already been like trying to help and figure out what might be happening, going over all the things that I always think of, and I'm like, hey, you know, it could be this, it could be that, and then when somebody goes, did you check this or check that? I'm always like, God damn it, yes, of course I did. But I mean, you always got to bring it up because you never know. You never know if somebody actually tried that or not. So anyway, Oops. I'm hearing something.
That's the webcam. Don't worry about it. I have no control of that damn thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, there we go. Yeah, so that's what happens. But anyway, yeah, Tracy Cortez is coming out to win, so I'm thinking that it's going to be a good fight because she put up a damn good fight against her last opponent, and so did Rose. So we'll get into that here in a bit. But like I was saying, I went and saw the Braves, which I'm always wearing a hat of. So that's my favorite baseball team. And I went and saw them play against Arizona Diamondbacks, and we kind of thought it was going to be somewhat of a shitty game because it was like 1-0 forever. And then it turned into like 1-1. And then all of a sudden it was 3-1. Next thing you know, it's tied up and they're going into extra innings. So like 2 hours into the game, we're thinking it's about to be over. and it was going to be an early night. And I was thinking about hitting up Infinity and being like, hey, what are you doing? We might come over and hang out because it was so damn early. But because we were over in his area. So, but instead, it went into extra innings. It got exciting. It was a fun game. I learned some new rules about baseball I didn't know. The baseball of today is a lot different than it used to be. And I'm not ashamed to say I don't pay enough attention. I know things about MMA. I follow that all the time. That's what I'm here, you know, that's what I'm here talking about. In a minute, I will be. But that's what this show's about. So I follow that closely, but I don't follow baseball as closely as I used to, you know. So all the rule changes that happened recently, I was aware of some of them. I was not aware of the tie game rule where somebody starts at second base. So I kept thinking, like, what the hell's going on here? Because I'm halfway paying attention, right? Like I do with everything. But yeah, so it turned out to be a damn good game, went into extra innings, and my Braves pulled it off. So I was pretty damn excited about that. But, you know, it always sucks when they're playing the home team because the Diamondbacks are the Arizona team. And I do like the Diamondbacks, don't get me wrong. But I've been a fan of the Braves since before the Diamondbacks were even a team. So, I see some movement on Infinity's sound down there, but I didn't hear anything. Anyway, yeah, I've been a fan of the Braves forever, so that's why we went to that game, and that was a Father's Day gift from my kids and my wife, so I appreciate that. I love them for thinking of me that way and setting that up. We stayed the night over there and just kind of hung out and had a good time. So, virtual camera. Looks like he's trying to get back in, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's a rundown of my weekend. That's kind of what I did. I tried to do some extra stuff for the podcast, you know, little things for YouTube here and there. I was trying to learn a lot. I was trying to, just trying to think of things, man, because I'm always trying to find ways to get people's attention, find ways to figure out how to make the podcast better. And, you know, technical difficulties like this, they are what they are. It happens, and we try to work through them. None of us have professional setups like where people are taking care of these issues in the background for us. We're doing it all ourselves. So you got to have patience sometimes, and not everything is perfect always. And I have to tell myself that all the time because things happen. And that's why I'm just trying to kind of give him some time here before we get started into the topics and see if he can make it. And if not, then, you know, next week. Next week's another week, man. So we can get it done. Don't press yourself too hard. So let's see what else. I did play some golf this weekend too. That was good. That was another thing I did. Saw my pops and we played some golf. It was hotter than shit, and I played pretty okay, I guess. So I guess I can't be too mad at that. And let's see, what else did I do? Not a whole lot. I got some. I'm working on getting some other things done, like some stickers and some stuff like that, because I had made some stickers previously, and I liked how they came out, but I had some other ideas and just other ways of making stickers that would be more of a productive way of doing it. I guess that a sticker that has, actually I have them right here. These are my trial run stickers, and you know, this will be something that if you're here, if you live here with me, you might get one of these sometime in the near future. But there we go. So I put a little QR code on the sticker, and we got the logo and stuff. Added a little podcast under it just so people know exactly what it's about. And then this will take you straight here to this channel. So I like the way they came out. It seemed like pretty good quality stickers. So I'll probably be ordering more here in the near future. And we'll just go from there. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, man. Infinity, I'm running out of things to talk about. So I might have to move on over to the to the topics. And then if you get back in, shoot me a text and I'll leave things open for you and I'll turn your square on. if you get everything running. Watch those meters, man, because that'll tell you everything. I'm sure you know. So now that we've had the placeholder for Infinity there, I'm going to have to... Actually, I can do that while we're talking. I will go over to my other scene, and I will turn his box off for a minute until he gets things worked out, if that happens. There we go. Cool. All right, so we're going to get into the topics now. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, I feel bad for Infinity because he's having to deal with that, and that sucks. But we'll see if he gets going and jumps back in somewhere in the middle. So here we go. Good thing I have this kind of easy to keep going with just me. So here we go. Combat sports news. We'll start with some boxing. We got Masvidal versus Diaz that happened this past weekend. That was in boxing as well, which, I mean, if you didn't hear, that's kind of what's happening right now. People are moving over into the boxing world. Masvidal and Diaz have both kind of been wanting to get involved, and Diaz has been involved in boxing because he did fight Jake Paul. I gotta get my shit together now because my brain's all scrambled. But yeah, so I mean, this was actually a pretty good fight. A lot of people had a lot of bad things to say, and it sucks because this is the Diaz that fought in this fight should have been the Diaz that fought against Jake Paul. But apparently all the rumors and speculations are that basically he stopped giving a shit in the middle of his camp and decided, you know what, fuck it. And just like a Diaz, that's what went down. So this was just what I heard from a couple different, places that talked about it. And he came in looking like he was in better shape, looking like he was ready to fight. Masvidal came in. People were talking about him looking too heavy. He was heavier than Diaz, but it is what it is. They both look like they were in decent shape, and it was an entertaining fight I guess for what happened. It went all 10 rounds, and the action, I'm starting to hear a little bit from Infinity, so he might actually be he might be jumping in here. So there he is. Uh-oh. What happened to your screen?
I'm here.
You're like half in. Hold on, let me see if it's my... Oh.
Yeah, it's all jacked up because I took the whole computer from the other room.
Oh, okay.
I'll play with the ratios, but I got you.
Yeah, no worries. Let me just fix my little thing there. There we go. Cool. Well, we got you now, at least somewhat.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so I was just talking about Masvidal and Diaz.
Yep, I can still hear.
Yeah, you sound a little far away.
Check. Is that better?
Reverb and distant a little bit.
All right, anyway, keep going.
Okay. No, it's all right. Yeah, so for the most part, I thought it was a pretty decent fight. I did watch it. And because I obviously Diaz, I'm a Diaz fan, so I was ready to hopefully see a very exciting ending to the fight. But with Masvidal, you never know too. Like, he can catch you, and if he does, that's one of those. It can be a knockout. So, but how is he going to do in boxing was the question, especially against somebody like Diaz who puts out a lot of volume. Masvidal did land the harder punches, but Diaz put out a lot of volume, and it's kind of the way that we know them. That's like what we expect for the most part. So the cool thing, I thought, Diaz came out, paid a little homage to Mike Tyson with the Be Real kind of saying on his hoodie and stuff. So you remember that from Mike Tyson back in the day. So that was a pretty cool thing. I didn't notice anything specific about Masvidal's walkout. but I also wasn't paying that much attention, and I didn't see anything anywhere about it. So I assumed that he didn't do much for excitement when it came to his walkout. Did you get to watch any of did you watch any of the fight? Catch any of the highlights?
Yeah, I caught it. Are you able to hear me a little better now?
A little bit. It still sounds tinny.
All right, I'll mess with that when I get a second.
Did you think?
Yeah, you can tell they're getting older. They're not who they used to be. They're still good, but you can tell they're getting older.
Yeah, it was kind of slower paced. The pitter patter punches from Diaz.
Yeah.
That's a thing, though. That's what he does. So if you haven't watched him fight before, I can understand why that's frustrating or you feel like that's stupid. But and that's kind of how he fights. He wears you down with that shit. He puts out a lot of volume, and he picks his big punches. Picks the timing for his big punches.
Masvidal had so much more power punches, though. Like, if there was a different scoring system, I think Masvidal would have took it, because there was a couple that really had him staggered for a second. And
that was definitely what the controversy was, because a lot of people thought Masvidal got robbed, and everyone was saying that pretty much he did volume and power, but I don't know. It did happen in California, so people were also talking about the robbery was in play because of it being in California. Boxing too, the commissions, the commissions, the judges, the refs. Shit's a little different in boxing. So
it is, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's a completely different scoring. You're not grappling and doing all that, so that's why there was 3 judges. One of them had him tied, and then one of them had a landslide, and then one of them had him close. So
yeah.
Kind of like, what do you do?
That's what was weird about that's what was weird. And the cards that were in favor that gave him the fight, they were a bit lopsided in the Diaz way. And I think that's why people questioned it. Like, if it would have been a closer fight, one judge did give it a 95-95 draw, but the other two, it was 98-92 and 97-93. Like, it should not have gone that way.
Yeah, there were some big differences. I'm like, what are you looking at to make it that much of a difference?
Yeah, it should have been like 96, 94 maybe. And then that would have given him it would have been very, very close. Right. So in the CompuBox punch stats, from what it says here, Masvidal threw more punches or landed more punches, but Diaz threw more. So the percentage is, 8% difference there.
Masvidal had the power, but they're both kind of slow. It was just kind of like old lumbering. I mean, they're damn near 40 though, so what do you expect? Plus Diaz got to show off that damn chin.
Yeah. Let me see. You know what? I think I might know why it's not through for me. Yeah, there we go. Say something again.
Check.
Oh yeah. So the reason why it sounded weird to me was because I had the volume up on the Ninja still.
Oh. Because I was like, I got volumes over here that are damn near maxed out. I was like, what else?
Yeah, I mean, you still sound kind of far away, but it doesn't, that tinny kind of reverb shit that was happening is gone because I turned that off.
Is this better?
A little bit. I have noticed recently too on the other pod that your mic has been lower too. So I don't know what's up with that.
All right, well, I'll look into that after this.
Yeah, I wonder if you need to just add a filter, and add some gain.
I could do that.
Yeah.
But while it's working, I don't want to add too much.
No, I mean, I don't think it'll cause a problem if you do it right now. That's kind of something I had to do on the other mics here. I did add a gain, and I added a little bit to it because it just seemed like it was very low compared to mine.
I just added some gain right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it got a little better.
Interesting, because I'm damn near pegging red, but
yeah, see, and on my side it's not, so it's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I can hear you, so I think we're good. Let me see if there's anything else here that I can do. I don't think so, though. I've never really messed with it so much.
What about now?
It's like barely going up. It's all right. Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
So yeah, like looking at the numbers, obviously Masvidal threw or landed more, but I don't know. Maybe it's a show thing. Maybe the way Diaz carried himself in the fight is kind of what made him look better. But those punches that landed that Masvidal landed were definitely noticeable of how much harder that he was hitting. Like you said, he did stumble Diaz a little bit here and there, and you can't ever tell by Diaz's face, because he has, as soon as he gets hit a few times, he swells up and he gets cut open.
Well, he's been beat on so many times. That dude takes damage like no one else.
Yeah, but he's definitely durable, so he hangs in there.
Have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, Masvidal landed some good body shots. Diaz answered with some good body shots of his own. I don't think they really drew any blood. I never really saw much blood, which is surprising, considering, like I said, Diaz usually gets cut open, and yeah, it's something that happens a lot.
Yeah, I just saw a bunch of swelling. But
yeah, definitely around the eyes. He always gets as soon as he gets hit in the eyes, it swells up. So, but I mean, again, for the most part, judging by Diaz's last fight against Jake Paul, that was not great, and he looked really, really bad. This fight was way better, and I think it was a better showing.
Well, Jake Paul's also 10 years younger, maybe 15 years even. He's mid-20s or something like that. So.
He's 27, so he's about 10 years younger.
Okay, and they're 39, so yeah.
Oh yeah, so like 12 years younger. Yeah. So that is a big difference, especially in a sport like this.
Right. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and the technical side of it, because they're not, they box for MMA. They don't usually box for boxing. It's a whole different thing.
It's not in 10 MMA, rounds of stand-up in MMA.
Yeah. So this was 10 rounds. What was it? 3-minute rounds instead of 5.
3:30 or 3 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, instead of 5 minute or 3 5-minute rounds or whatever. So I mean, it's kind of more, but kind of less, because they get more breaks in between, less time that they gotta keep going. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot to show, because there was a lot of, I guess they threw like almost 1,400 punches total between the both of them. That's a lot.
Yeah, if you count the little pepperings and everything, they weren't all strong.
Right. But I mean, it's still volume.
Yeah. Yep, it is a lot of volume.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you get from Diaz, and Masvidal was just keeping the pace and landing the hard punches when he got the chance. So, yeah, and I mean, here's some of the harder punches that actually this one's not so bad, but you could see kind of some of the, I don't know, some of the positioning, some of it's just, it looks bad, but at the same time, it didn't look as bad during the fight. It was a slower punches, I guess, maybe not so, I don't know. It's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, it is what it is. They earned a paycheck, so there was entertainment. It went to the cards. There was no like giant knockouts, but they're too old to really be knocking people out crazy unless someone just slips up. So
yeah,
whatever.
It feels very weird to me to be calling Diaz and Masvidal old, considering, but I mean, they are 39, so that's old for fighting.
Yeah.
I was just watching
ain't like either of them had a easy life before that either.
Yeah, and I was just watching some of Nate Diaz when he was on the Ultimate Fighter way back in the day, and he was so damn young and little. It's funny.
Yep.
But yeah, just watching that and then seeing him now, it's like, it's crazy that I've been watching MMA for that long too.
Yep, it's been a while.
But yeah, it's just some more shots from the fight. There was just so many, like there was so many to choose from, so many shots, like them being the main event. Definitely had plenty of content and plenty of pictures, with them throwing so many punches too. It was probably nonstop cameras going the whole time. But yeah, it's just I wish it would have been more exciting in the way that it finished in a better manner. But I was happy that Diaz won. It just sucks that it's controversial, that people are talking about robbery and all that shit.
They can get in there too then and see what happens to them.
Exactly.
It's easy to talk about it from the couch.
Yeah. And it looked, Diaz was kind of back in his normal form, you know, just kind of laughing it up. You could see they're both kind of laughing here, which is, I mean, Masvidal's that way too.
Yep, early on they were from like 1 through 3 or 4. They were both laughing.
Yeah.
6 though, they started showing like they were getting a little tired. So.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it looked like Masvidal got more tired than Diaz at one point, but maybe that's just a little bit extra weight he had on him. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, here's one of the bigger shots from Masvidal. Landing flush there.
Yep.
Diaz coming back. This is why I did these pictures this way, because this is how it was the whole fight, just back and forth, back and forth.
Counters all day long. Yep.
Yeah. And Diaz just sneaking them in whenever he can, you know. This is another uppercut. But yeah, I just to say that a lot of people used to compare Diaz to, you know, regular boxers and say he would definitely be able to hang in there with them. And maybe he could back in the day.
Yeah.
Because he did do a lot of sparring and training with a lot of high level boxers back in the day. But I just don't know that I don't know that that's his thing now. Maybe go back to he's talking about going back to MMA. Talking about wanting a rematch with Jake Paul. So
I wouldn't do that. Not after this. I mean, if you look at that picture you have right there, usually when people get an uppercut that's that kind of clean, there's like that sweat flying off of them.
Yeah.
That just doesn't look like there's that much power to it.
Right. I think if he fights anybody, he should probably have the trilogy fight with Conor. That would make the most sense.
That would make sense.
Because Conor's obviously not the Conor of old.
Yeah, hell no. That Conor's been running for the whole summer.
Yeah, and he's been tweeting a bunch and talking about how he's you know, his comeback is here. It's happening. So yeah. Well,
show it.
Yeah. In the end, I mean, Diaz, you know, of course, I just thought this picture was dope because the crowd was behind him. You know, of course, being in California, he's a Cali boy. He did get the win. I think it was considered a majority decision.
Yeah.
So, and that's because of, you know, the draw. One
draw and one landslide, and the other one for him as well.
98-92, 97-93, and 95-95 were the judges' scorecards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of weird. I feel like it should have just been edged out, like 96-94, 96-94, and 95-95. Yeah, hell, if it would have been a draw, no one would have been surprised.
Pretty much. I agree.
But in the end, he gets the majority decision, and you know, he gets the win. So that's about it for that. But sticking with boxing news somewhat, well, totally. But Ryan Garcia, man, this boy does not stop. So it says boxing news. Ryan Garcia has been expelled from the World Boxing Council after using hateful comments in a social media live stream. So he went on Twitter Spaces, it's called, or X now, Spaces, whatever. But it's basically like a live forum on Twitter that you can do, and you can interact with people and talk to people and answer questions and all this shit. But he's been doing that lately and just going off on his crazy rants. Well, this last time, were you able to hear everything that he said? Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually the last 2 times, but this one stuck.
Yeah, so
this is not the first time he said that nonsense. And then he's got his partner, the dude he's training or whatever.
Yeah.
Just sitting there like, yeah. It's like, okay, dude. Like, you're done in my
in his corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he just went off on some racist comments, basically. And just nonsense, man. I don't even care. It's just, he needs to fucking check himself. He needs to get some help. He talked about going to rehab, and instead of going to rehab, he decided to blow it off and go to his brother's boxing match, which happened same night as Masvidal and Diaz. It was on the undercard, and his brother got his ass whooped. So that kind of sucks. But he got escorted out because he was getting crazy, as usual. He says he didn't get escorted out, but there's kind of evidence that he did.
Okay.
Yeah. So the WBC president said, exercising my authority as president of the WBC, I am hereby expelling Ryan Garcia for any activity with our organization. We reject any form of discrimination. I fear for Ryan's well-being as he has declined multiple attempts for our help with mental health and substance abuse. So it sounds like the organization is trying to help him out, and he's just saying no, of course.
The worst part is, this is not the first time you and I have even talked about it on this show.
Yeah.
It was only 2 or 3 shows ago, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, he's young, he needs help, he could do this, that, movies, whatever. Like, do something constructive. And that wasn't but 3-4 weeks ago, and it got that much worse in less than a month.
Right.
So, I mean,
it's unfortunate because he's talented and he's young, and he could have a lot of great success ahead of him. You know, his fights have been here and there or whatever, but his last fight was phenomenal against Devin Haney. Yeah, he dropped dirty for a tainted supplement, and they've kind of proven that quite a few times now that it was tainted. There was even something that came out saying that the samples were basically wrong. So there was a few different sources that came out and said that. So, I mean, he might not have had anything in his system, but even if he did, you know, he's up there weighing in and drinking a beer and shit. So obviously, no one's going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Not anymore. I mean, because maybe that was his true feelings anyway, and it just took a little extra something in him for them to come out. Yeah. Because he didn't seem to bat an eye or nothing, so it's like, I don't know about that one.
I like the guy too, but not saying that kind of shit and doing that kind of shit. It's just like, it's not necessary. And you know, he's already flying off the handle. Boxing is full of hypocrites. As soon as he comes back, every fighter, including black fighters, and content creators, will be back with their hands out. Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, man. Like I'm giving him props, man. I think he's talented. I think he has potential to do a lot of big things and be one of the greatest boxers out there because of his age and everything else. But I just don't. It's the age of social media, I guess. I mean, he's not wrong, but at the same time, you know,
he's gonna ruin himself though.
Yeah.
I don't, boxing with Frank, welcome, all that good stuff. But at the same time, we just talked about this and giving him a chance, and he's getting worse and worse. So regardless of it being boxing or MMA or any other organized sport, it's not a good look for the sport at all. Like black, brown, white, that's just kind of the face of boxing, especially American boxing. They need him. Well, they don't need that kind of publicity though. There's plenty of other people that are just as hungry that may not be discovered yet too.
And obviously they don't need him that bad if they expelled him. But then again, how long is it gonna last? He might be right. He might be right. Listen, maybe I sound negative in the things I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I like the dude. I have liked the guy this whole time, and I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, listen, man, this dude maybe just has some issues he needs to work out, but it just keeps getting worse. So I'm just speaking to his issue right now. Well, it is what it is. I don't get involved in the boxing world all that often. I talk about it because I talk about combat sports in general. But and the big names in boxing, they have their ups and downs. They have their good fights and bad fights, and they have their shit outside of the ring. Just like MMA fighters, and I cover all of it. So when it comes down to it, I'm not just, not a good look. Mike Tyson was. See, this is, but we're not talking. That was years ago, bro. We're talking about what's happening right now. I'm talking about a current event right now. Okay, that's all. I'm talking about
a good. See that comment?
He said not a good look. Mike Tyson was convicted of. He said graping, but we all know what he means. And now he's American love child. Too much fake outrage. Well, here's the thing. If Mike Tyson would have done that to somebody you loved, it wouldn't be fake outrage and you would hate him forever. Okay? People do. You're also able to change your mind when somebody changes themselves as well. There's things called second chances. Mike Tyson has shown and proved from those days that he is a changed man. Then there hasn't been all this crazy allegations coming out from him in this world at all. Maybe there's some things that have come out, but nothing to that nature. So he did his time, and he's shown and proved that he's a different guy. That's why people still love him. You know what I mean? But I understand what you mean by being hypocritical. I get it fully. I fully get it, and I understand. And there's nothing you can do, because there's people that are gonna feel like boxing with Frank does, and there's people that are gonna feel like I do, where I'm like, I'm covering this because it's what I do on this show. But at the same time, I don't agree with or like the things that he's doing. And it's always going to be in the back of my head until, here's the thing. You ask somebody to go get help, right? When they go get that help, you still hold everything against them. So what are you supposed to do? Fake outrage or learn how to forgive, right? There's something that has to happen. Something has to give. You can't just fucking hate somebody forever. And no matter what good they do for anybody, what if they change their life completely around and they do nothing but the best for the world, and you're just constantly going to hold on to that? That's why people like Mike Tyson now, because he's changed. So what did he say? I'm saying people are virtue signaling. Stank Davis hit and runs a pregnant woman
on the comments, because I don't see it,
and wasn't canceled. No, it's there. Yeah. But Ryan says words and is expelled. I called BS. Seems an agenda. Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. When I don't know what to say about this. I really don't, because he's bringing up good points, but at the same time, again, like I said, everyone's going to talk about the agendas and this and that and the other thing, but Ryan Garcia is relentless right now with this shit, non-stop. If he had a regular job, he would have been fired quickly, right away, done. Doesn't matter if you think it's woke bullshit or not. It's not right what he's doing. What Tank Davis did isn't right. What Mike Tyson did wasn't right. But you can't tell me that you're a perfect angel and you've never done something wrong in your life, regardless of the, how big or how bad it was. Everyone does wrong shit, right? I'm not giving anybody an excuse. I'm just saying people can change. What's happening to Ryan Garcia right now, whether you like him or not, you have to understand that what he's doing right now is not good. It's not good, and he needs help. That's what I think. I think he needs help, and I think if he gets the help he needs and he can return and become the star that he already is and continue on the path that he was on, which was being... See, but Ryan, he's saying, I'm saying Ryan is literally trolling. He's laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah, he's trolling, but he's losing things. When do you call it quits? That's the problem with these fucking trolls. You don't know when to quit. Like, yeah, he can stand up for himself and beat the shit out of people, but when do you quit? When do you stop and just say, fuck all this bullshit and get back to focusing on what you do? Being a good boxer. That's what he is. Say all you want. I don't give a shit. But you can't sit here and say he's just trolling and everybody should leave him alone when he's saying all this outrageous shit. I'm sorry, but racism is not trolling, bro. You could say whatever you want, but to me, racism is not trolling. If that's what he's out there saying, joke or not, you better fucking stop that joke real quick, because you're gonna have to face consequences one way or another. And at this point, he's pushing on other worldly religions and other shit like that, and that can get dangerous. Whether a boxer can't stop bullets, people might take... What's that?
No, I just said nope. You can't beat everybody either. Yeah,
you can't beat everybody. And it just takes one crazy motherfucker to take more offense than anybody else and do something. So he's just wilding out and being reckless, and there has to be an end. That's all I'm saying. There has to be an end. But Boxing with Frank, I appreciate you for the interaction. I get what you're saying, man, and I understand it, but sometimes you have to see the other side. And I see your side, but I also see what he's doing, and I feel like he's making a mistake. That's just my opinion. And what everyone else is doing, it's on them. But my opinion is he's making a mistake. He has a lot of potential. He's already a star, and he can do better with it. And instead, he's taking it to great lengths that it shouldn't be taken to. So, I don't know.
Get himself jacked up is what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't want to see that. I want to see him prosper and do well for himself. Yeah, he may have all the money in the world right now, but how long is that going to last if you can't continue to make that money? So
it won't.
Yeah, and doing things like this, I promise you, are not going to get him into the UFC like he keeps talking about. Maybe that's a troll too. Sure, it might be, but in the end, a lot of people aren't going to want to fuck with him because he doesn't know when to shut up and he doesn't know how to stop. And if you can't be, I'm not saying controlled in that way, but I mean, if you can't be told to chill the fuck out and maybe, take a pill on all that stuff, then you're uncontrollable. You're not able to be handled in a professional manner. And sometimes that's what's needed. So I don't know. That's just my thought on it. Sorry. We'll move on from that. Let's get into this weekend's UFC fights. UFC on ESPN 59. This is taking place in Denver, Colorado. So high altitude. That's going to be a thing when it comes to these fights. What's that?
I said it makes a difference.
It definitely does. Now, Rose Namajunas is from Colorado, so she's already somewhat used to it, basically. But Tracy Cortez was talking about the fact that she got there like a week in advance, and within 2 days she felt acclimated. A lot of people were giving her shit about that because they're like, unless you're some kind of super athlete, superhuman, then, you know, that's probably not the case. But I mean, who knows? These fighters are all in really damn good shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you know who either of these girls are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Namajunas, when she had hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I know who they are.
Yeah. No, I'm just not sure because, you know, the women, I mean, some of the women are, no one knows who they are at all.
Nah.
So,
yeah, I get it. Some people don't give them any respect regardless, whoever they are. So
yeah, it doesn't matter if they're hot or not. They still won't know who the fuck they are.
Goes with the territory. But yeah, she's a bully. Like she would beat up a couple dudes I know.
Yeah, former UFC champion, multiple time champion actually, Rose Namajunas versus undefeated Tracy Cortez. So we'll hit that up here in a minute. But on the undercard, we have let's see, Evan Elder versus Darius Flowers in the welterweight division to start off the early prelims. Josh Freeman versus Andre Petrosky. That should be a good one in the middleweight division. Those two always put up good fights. Let's see, some more women. Luana Santos versus Maria Agapova. Let's see, who else? Damn, there's actually some pretty decent fights in the prelims. Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear in the bantamweight division. That'll be a banger.
Every time I hear that name, I just think Montel Jordan. I don't know what's wrong with me.
No, everybody does. Everybody does. We got Jasmine Jasdavicius, who it was Tracy Cortez's her last opponent actually that she beat against Fatima Klein. That's a flyweight fight.
Name. Yeah, I don't know that Fatima. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know her either. Really. Joshua Van versus Charles Johnson. And then we get to the main card. Yeah, what? Oh, I thought I saw something pop up there. Yeah, we got 6 fights on the main card happening in Colorado here for this fight. The first fight is Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Cody Brundage. You looked at that like you needed to.
Well, I'm on my backup computer and one screen and it's this big.
Yeah.
And then his name is the whole, I was like, is that a paragraph?
Yeah.
Like you might see my glasses on here in a second.
This could definitely be a good fight. I mean, Abdul is favored in this fight, but Cody Brundage is he's a dog. He always puts up a damn good fight. He is younger, 30 to Alhassan 38. They got similar records, 12-6 for Alhassan, 10-6 for Brundage. UFC records are not great though. Abdul's 6-6, Cody's 4-5. So they're both kind of like mid-level fighters. They drop a lot of fights. So
yeah.
Who wins in a MMA match? You or the person you're talking to?
What the hell?
He's always asking questions like that. Remember last time he asked me who would win in a street fight, me or you?
Yeah. There's no money on that there, buddy. Plus, I like doing business. Getting too old for that other shit.
Yeah, we're both too old for that shit. I mean, I'll do it if I have to. We'll say that. Back in the day, I would entertain all of it, but
self-defense is different now. It's like, you know what? Win or lose, I'm gonna be limping for a while, and I'm already still trying.
Yeah, and he's already hurt, so it's not even fair right now.
Right. Like my tendon was just put back together last month, so I'm good.
Yeah, so both these guys are coming off a loss. And if it goes submission or decision here, Alhassan does not have any wins in either of those categories. But 1 and 2 in decisions for Brundage, I mean, that's not great either. At least he has three submission wins, but he's lost twice in submissions. The biggest thing here is Alhassan with 12 and 1 in the KO TKO category there. So that's 12 KO or TKOs. So that's a pretty good stat there. He's headhunting. Cody Brundage will stand and bang with you, but if you get to the ground with him, that's where things might change. Alhassan here with this big punch. Yeah,
that's a big ass overhand.
Yeah, that's kind of what you see him doing a lot of. And then you got Brundage with the submission there. Like I said, you go to the ground with him, and he'll have your hands full if you're not used to or like being down there. So moving on, though, this is going to be a good one. Christian Rodriguez versus Julian Erosa. Rodriguez is 3-0 in the UFC. He's looked pretty damn good overall. He's on a he's 4-1 in the UFC, 3-0 in KO TKOs. I mixed that one up. But yeah, he's on a 4-fight win streak because he lost his first fight in the UFC, and then he's won all 4 since then. So and like I said, he's just looked damn good in his fights in the past. Let's see, his last one was Isaac Dulgarian was his last win. That was a split decision win. 3 out of the 4 are decision wins, but every time I watch him fight, I'm pretty impressed with his skills and his overall, just being well-rounded. Basically, he's 3-0 in KO TKOs, 4-0 in submissions, and 4-1 in decisions. So, do you think Tracy Cortez wrestling will dominate Rose? I don't know about dominate, but I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna stifle her. What's that?
Rose is hard to get close to, I think, is the issue.
Yeah, she is lanky.
Yeah, she's long, lanky, and she's quick. Quick and strong. So if they got to the ground, maybe. But they got to get there first.
Yeah, and I mean, who was it? Jessica Andrade did that shit where because Rose will climb all over you and try to get good position. But, Jessica Andrade fucking slammed her on her neck and knocked her out that way.
Yeah.
But I don't see Tracy Cortez doing that, but her wrestling is great. And I don't think it'll dominate Rose, but I do think it'll be a factor that might, if she gets a hold of her. But Rose has a really good ground game too. So, but yeah, as far as this fight goes, Julian Erosa, look at his MMA record, 29-11. That's a lot of fights.
That's a lot.
7-7 though in the UFC. Double digits in KO TKOs and submissions there, and he's coming off a win as well. So, I feel like this will be a good fight. It's like kind of experience versus just what do you call it? A good up and comer right now who is, he's on a 4-fight win streak too. So Erosa's on a let's see, his last win was against Ricardo Ramos. I lost my spot here. But there's Christian Rodriguez with a big punch. And Erosa, he's one of those guys, he's very unassuming. You don't think that he's going to come out there and kick the shit out of you, but he can.
He looks like my neighbor.
Oh, yeah?
Kind of. I know it ain't, but he looks like him.
I just noticed his tattoo on his leg. Not the dude in the green shorts, but the black shorts. You see the face?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah. But I feel like that's going to be a good fight, a good back and forth fight, some good action there going on. So Christian Rodriguez versus Julian Erosa. And then we move on to what will also be a good fight, because Gabriel Bonfim has been a part of some really good fights recently. And Angelos is one of those dudes that you think is going to come out and just be a fucking... Who's a nightmare matchup for John Jones?
Himself.
Yeah, the cops. I'm just kidding.
Everything outside the ring.
I think Tommy Aspinall will definitely give him a run for his money, but you never know, because Aspinall's been one of those guys that looks really impressive, but at the same time you could see him getting maybe confused and not able to handle what John Jones does. But Aspinall has good wrestling and stuff too, so I don't know. But then again, John Jones did what he did to Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier was a Olympic wrestler and high level. And so yeah. But let's see who else. I don't know, man. Curtis Blades is who's fighting Tom Aspinall. I don't think he could do anything to John Jones. And I don't think Stipe, going off of what Stipe's done in the past, who's supposed to be the one fighting John Jones whenever they actually make that fight, when John Jones gets, healed up from his shoulder injury. God, these fucking guys.
I told you it's himself.
Yeah. But Stipe is just too. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great fighter, and he's a former champion. But I just don't see him being able to beat John. But we haven't seen much from John Jones in the heavyweight division. We saw one fight that lasted a few seconds, and it was Cyril Gane, who just didn't know what the fuck he was in for. So he made a huge mistake, and John didn't even look like he was in good shape. He looked kind of heavy in that fight.
Yeah, he looked thick.
Yeah, looked like he put on the weight the wrong way. So I don't know, but I guess my best guess here would be somebody who's in the heavyweight division right now would be Tom Aspinall. Would probably be his biggest competition right now. Yeah, I don't know that it's a nightmare matchup, but I think it's the guy that'll give him the best fight right now. So, but back to this one, Gabriel Bonfim versus Angelosa. So yeah, Bonfim 15-1 overall, 2-1 in the UFC. Look at that, 12-0 in submissions. This dude, if he hits you and knocks you down, oh shit, love from New Zealand. What's up, Ghost ASMR? Damn, New Zealand. Appreciate that, man.
At the time my main computer don't work. Ain't that about it?
What?
I was gonna do a drop for him or something with a welcome buddy drops or something. Over on my backup, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh shit, New Zealand. That's pretty dope.
Gonna give him a what's up, brother?
So I mean, Bonfim is coming off that one loss, but he still looked good in that fight. And Angelos is on a 2-fight win streak here. So I don't know if have you heard of either of these guys or.
I've heard of Loosa. I don't know much about him. Actually, I've seen both of them in highlights, but I didn't follow them. So no, I'm just looking at the numbers though, and it looks like someone's gonna earn a paycheck that night. It wouldn't look easy for either one of them. So yeah,
fucking Bonfim was finishing dudes in the first round for 4 fights in a row, first round finishes, and then he lost to Nicholas Dalby back in November. In the second round by TKO. So
when I look at it, it looks like Loosa would gas out early just because of his bulk.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that it looks great on the street walking around, but when you got to go rounds, it's hard to say then.
Yeah, and I mean with Bonfim being that good at submissions, he likes to take it to the ground, and yeah, he'll probably wear him out and get him down there and submit him.
Yep.
Just like that, maybe.
Like that. A lot like that.
But yeah, he's a wizard on the ground, that's for damn sure. So, but Loosa can, probably catch him on the feet. He's oh shit, he's from the Congo. God damn, I didn't realize that.
What's that?
That's where Losa's from.
Oh. I didn't either.
Yeah, I just saw the flag right here on this page that I'm looking at, and I didn't recognize it. So then I saw it. I'm like, damn, the Democratic Republic of the Kinshasa. Yeah, it says Congo. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his last fight was that fight against Brian Battle where there was a accidental eye poke. So that was a no contest for his last fight. But before that, he won 2 in a row against Rise McKee and AJ Fletcher. Both unanimous decisions though. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights in a row, win or loss, that have gone to decision. So,
decisions aren't always good for you.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm thinking Bonfim gets him down to the ground and fucking submits him. Submits him on his feet even, because I'm pretty sure he can do that as well. So,
one way to find out.
Yeah. Moving on to Drew Dober versus Jean Silva. Jean Silva just fucking fought on the 29th of June. And I mean, it was a fast fight, I think it ended in the first round. Let me double check that. But he fought Charles Jourdain, I think. Yeah. Oh, it was a second round. Second round KO. 1 minute 22 seconds in. But I mean, dude, he came out with unscathed completely. Like absolutely nothing on him. He was barely breathing hard.
Yeah, well, that's why he's fighting again, apparently. Like soon.
Yeah. So UFC 303 was his last fight.
Yep.
And yeah, he's on more of a 2-fight. I mean, more than a 2-fight win streak, but he's only fought 2 fights in the UFC, and he's won them both. So he's undefeated in the UFC. But he's actually got, that's a lot of green squares there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I saw that. I really?
Yeah.
Kayla would beat Ronda's head clean off her body.
No doubt.
Even when Ronda was at her prime, Kayla would stomp a mud hole in her. Kayla is like gold medal, gold or silver. Like
she won a gold twice in the Olympic judo, and
and that was then.
Ronda,
that was years ago.
Yeah, Ronda only got the bronze, I think.
Once.
Yep.
And has gotten her face beat off for the last 3 or 4 times she was in the ring. That's why she
the
had
level of competition that Ronda had back in the day was nowhere near what Kayla Harrison has now, and she's still looking good. I feel like it would be a great fight. I feel like I would love to see that, but I would have loved to have seen it like years ago. 8
years ago.
Yeah, when Ronda was like in her prime.
Yeah,
and Kayla is who she is now. Or maybe Kayla, who she was a couple years ago, because since she lost in the PFL that 1 year, she kind of fell off a little bit. But she looked impressive against Holly Holm in her first fight in the UFC. So I'm looking forward to watching her fight some more in the UFC for sure. But no doubt in my mind that Kayla Harrison would win that fight.
Kayla would curb stomp her.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true. So John Silva's won his past 2 fights by... one by KO, one by TKO. So, but Drew Dober's a dog, man. This motherfucker he's durable, and he'll hang in there no matter what. He gets the shit kicked out of him, and he's still there. So that
might be what happens.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And John Silva's a fast starter too, so I'm not sure if that's gonna affect Dober much. But he's 27-13 overall, 13 wins in the UFC. So he's got a lot of fucking fights. And he's 8 years older than Silva, but he's coming off a loss to Renato Carneiro. That was in February of this year. That was a unanimous decision. He's kind of been on a win-loss streak, but Dober has that big knockout win against Bobby Green. That was pretty impressive. That was back in December of 22. That was crazy, man. I didn't think Bobby Green was gonna get knocked out like that, and
I don't think he thought that either.
No, Drew Dober put that shit on him. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and got the shit knocked out of him by Matt Frivola the very next fight. So that was a crazy one too, because Frivola put his ass out in the first round. So yeah, this has potential for sure to be a pretty exciting fight with Silva and his crazy antics and his fast starts, and then Dober with everything I've been able to see, everything that I've seen him able to do. It's fun. I mean, besides his last fight, every fight was for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. They were all finishes by KO or TKO, win or loss for him. So yeah, I think this will be a good fight right here for sure.
Yep.
Moving on to the co-main, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Muslim Salikhov.
That's how you say that?
What's that, Ponzinibbio?
No, I'm just like, I've never figured out how to say it. I've seen that name before. I'm like, Ponzi. Yeah, that guy.
What's funny is that's how I put his name in on everything, because you know I'm like putting descriptors on things. I put Ponzi for everything, because Santiago's long too. I'm like, god damn it.
I know. Yep.
And then for Muslim Salikhov's just hard to remember how to spell.
Yeah, especially that way.
Muslim, yeah.
Yep.
But Ponzinibbio, I think, has been out for a few because he was injured, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. That hairline looks a little injured, but besides that, I don't know.
Dude, look at his fucking ears.
Just look at Santiago's ears. Like he just landed there, Dumbo himself.
Yeah, April of 23. So it's been over a year. That was a loss to Kevin Holland in the 3rd round. So I mean that was his last fight. Before that, I mean he's win loss is like how his record's been since 21. So who's the best kickboxer right now in the UFC? Kickboxer. Oof. Alex Pereira, man. Yeah, Alex Pereira for sure. I would say. I mean, we all know that his background was in kickboxing, and I feel like he brought that over to the UFC and hasn't let up. So he's been knocking fools out and throwing kicks. I mean, he kicked who was the last head kick knockout? Was that Yuri? Yeah, that's what he did to Yuri, right? Yeah, that head kick knockout. I was like, that just fucking happened.
Yeah, I was like, didn't we just watch that?
Dude, too many fights, man.
Everybody's like, oh! Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I would say Pereira for sure. Like, I don't think there's any doubt. Especially with what he's done recently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this fight, I mean, Ponzinibbio hasn't been submitted at all. He's got a lot of KO TKOs. I mean, but so does Muslim. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of somewhat of an even type fight, I would think. I think Salikhov is Ponzinibbio's the favorite, I think. I don't remember actually, but I did do my picks, and I do have my picks with the odds at the end. What's that?
Are you putting the sign on this one?
No, I'm not betting on any of this. This is just my picks for the.
Thought you wanted redemption for the last one.
No, it's not a big enough card. I usually wait till the pay-per-views.
Gotcha.
Just so there's more at stake. It's a pay-per-view fight we're watching.
So you got a couple weeks then. All right.
Yeah, July 27th is the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's some Ponzinibbio stuff. I mean, yeah, a lot of his punches directly to the chin or the mouth is what I find a lot of. This dude looked like he was going out already before he got punched.
Yep.
But yeah, big punches to the mouth. Look at that. Yeah. So I mean, his striking is great, but he's got good submissions as well. Just a well-rounded fighter. And like I said, I mean he was out for over a year, and I think it's due to an injury. So now he's back fighting Muslim Salikhov. Big puncher as well. He's got a lot of KO TKO wins, but you know, little bit of everything mixed in there. I don't remember, anytime I've seen him fight, I haven't really seen him on the ground much. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be a stand-up battle, but who knows? You know, shit goes all over the place. Who's going to get fraud check next in the UFC? I don't know, man. I don't believe in the fraud check shit. I think it's better when somebody who's undefeated finally loses. And because then we get to see like how much heart they have. You know, when they're like 6-0, 7-0, 3-0, you know, anything like that. You see how they bounce back, and then you know what kind of a fighter they're gonna be. Are they gonna fall apart because they lost that 0 next to their name, or are they gonna get better and have minimal losses because they learned from that loss? So
like Ronda.
Yeah.
After she started getting beat up, she never came back.
Yeah, she loses twice and then she leaves and never comes back. So it's like, fuck, dude. But yeah, that's the thing. You lose that and you think it's over. It's like, no, man. Sometimes it's better to get that shit over with in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
get humbled up.
Right now we got Bo Nickel, who is still undefeated. Tracy Cortez is fighting on this card, undefeated. 5-0, I think, in the UFC right now. Something like that. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know that would be considered being fraud checked. I don't know, because I think Tracy has the skills. I just think that she might run into somebody that's better than her. You know, people called fraud check on fucking Joe Pyfer when he lost his last fight, but look how he came back and won, and you know, at UFC 303, like he came back, he did his thing, and now he's ready to go and to keep that streak alive, you know, and just keep winning. And he's got fucking some crazy hands, man. That boy puts people the fuck out. So I don't know. The fraud check thing is, it's all cap, bro.
I need my button.
I know. I don't want to mess my shit up. Otherwise,
No, I know.
There's so many times I'm like, I just want to throw something in there and then
No cap.
yeah. But shit. Muslim punches, kicks. I do see him kicking a lot. So this fool will throw head kicks and everything. So you just gotta watch. Ponzinibbio will too, though. So I mean, we could just have a lot of shit going back and forth here. I just do not remember Ponzinibbio's fights in the past. I just can't seem to pull those out of my memory whatsoever.
I don't even remember the name.
Yeah. So Salikhov just fought, though, I thought, not that long ago. Yeah, in February. That was the loss to Randy Brown. That's right. So he's on a 2-fight losing streak right now, unfortunately for him. But he's going to try to snap that against Santiago Ponzinibbio. They're the co-main event for this fight. Now let's move on to the main event. Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. Yeah, I was right. 5-0. 5-0 in the UFC. Now she's had a couple of, fights where it looked a little rough for her, but she's kept that undefeated record. She's 11-1 overall, so she's lost before, but I still think that prestige of being in the UFC and being undefeated in the UFC still holds some weight on their shoulders. So Khabib retired undefeated, and not too many people do that. So I don't know if I know of anybody in the UFC that's ever done that besides him. Somebody can fact check that if they want to, but I'm pretty sure he might be one of, if not the only one in the UFC that has retired undefeated. But people will say, yeah, this fight, that fight, blah blah blah. Who gives a shit? Because in the end, he lost. It's not. I'm not talking about it like people talk about John Jones, who actually has a loss on his record, but they still say he's undefeated because, yes, I get it. It was bullshit. They called the 12-6 elbow. Said that he got disqualified for it, but he was beating the shit out of Matt Hamill when before that happened. So I get why people want to say that he's never lost, but there's still a loss on his record, and I think that getting that O out of there just did nothing but help fucking John Jones. So look what he did after that. You know what I mean? He just trajectory all the way up. So but I don't know. I mean, people will say whatever they say. So
hard to tell.
Yeah, but Rose Namajunas, I mean, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I need to stand up for a hot second.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm over here like so fucking thirsty. That's why I keep taking drinks.
Yeah, I know that, and starting to get a little stiff.
Yeah, no, go for it.
So,
but Rose Namajunas being former champion, she multiple time champion actually. She's 32 years old. Who's the best decision fighter in the UFC? Decision fighter. Fuck. I don't know, because I fucking hate when it's nothing but decisions. But I guess I'm drawing a blank on this one. Decisions. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one because I can't think of one right now. Yeah, those are tougher because I just tend to like block that shit out, because unless it was just like a war or like a crazy fucking it has to be an impressive back and forth for me to pay real close attention to decision wins, because a lot of times if it's a decision, I hate to be that person that says that, but a lot of times if it's a decision, it's either boring or one-sided, and that person just couldn't finish the fight. So it's tough to say, honestly. Hey, Cold Art Maker, tell me you tell me who you think is the best kickboxer, who you think wins between Ronda Rousey and Kayla Harrison. Who do you think gets fraud checked next in the UFC, and who do you think is the best decision fighter? I don't know why I forget to ask you this, but I want to know from you as well, because that's good interaction as far as I'm concerned. You're asking me questions, but I'm asking you right back. So hit up that chat, let me know what you think. Give me your answers to your questions as well, because I would like to know, especially this decision one. I want to know who you bring out that maybe that'll spark some that'll jog my memory a little bit. But I'm trying to think of who I can think of has gone on a lot of decision wins, and I can't think of it. Maybe best kickboxer is Izzy, Leon Edwards, and Alex Pereira. Okay, that makes sense. Izzy for sure. Leon, yeah, I guess I would. Yeah, I guess I would say Leon. I'm trying to think of maybe.
What was the question? The decision fighter thing?
Yeah, Bilal Muhammad is the best decision fighter. Okay, that makes sense. That's why people hate him, though. People hate Bilal Muhammad, dude. I don't know why. I can understand kind of why, for the reasons that he's oblivious to some of the things that people like hate him for. But at the same time, I think he gets so much hate that he has to just be like, fuck it all, I don't care. I do think he's a great fighter, but yeah, I guess the best decision fighter, that makes sense. That's a good one. That's a damn good one, actually. That's how much I don't think about Bilal Muhammad, which I feel bad about. But yeah, so Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. I mean, I technically, dude, Tracy is holy shit.
Yep, I was thinking that the whole time.
Oh my god. I mean,
like if Rose grew her hair back and Tracy just stayed the way she is, yeah, I'd probably watch for all the wrong reasons.
Battle of the baddies.
Pretty much.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, Rose is still pretty, but I don't get down with the short hair thing. I know why she said she did it, and she gives zero fucks about what people think either. So, but yeah, I mean, it just feel like it does make her look tough because she had a real sweet face kind of when she had the long hair. So maybe, I mean, it does work in her favor, but she's 12
obviously
and 6.
It's more than looks though, so
yeah, for sure. She's talented as fuck.
Yep. 12
and 6 overall, 10 and 5 in UFC. She's got equal amounts of wins and submissions and decisions. Only 2 KO TKO wins. Tracy is 11 and 1 overall. She's only 2 years younger than Rose too, but when you put on Muay Thai shorts and a gi, you feel happiness in an MMA gym. Oh, dude. Yeah, that's passionate right there. You could tell that dude loves it.
That's awesome though.
Hell yeah. I get that, man. I mean, sometimes I miss doing some of the things I used to do, like even just in my garage with my my heavy bag and just fucking hitting the bag and shit. I used to do it like every day religiously, and then I stopped and I haven't been back. So even just doing that though was fucking fun.
Yeah, about that. You want to talk about missing stuff?
Yeah, no, you can't. No, I get you.
No, I hear you though. I miss Kung Fu and I miss Taekwondo, but I think I miss Kung Fu more because it's so unorthodox. Nobody sees it coming if you have to use it, and you're so close to someone you can actually use it in a public setting, which is more than likely where it would happen if you had to.
Yeah.
But it's not like you got a whole ring or anything when you're out in the street or a bar or whatever. So
right.
But yeah. I understand happiness, not as much as he does, but I understand it.
I know there's some real feeling in that statement right there.
Yeah, or she, my bad, or she.
Yeah,
it could be anybody these days.
He or she. I mean, we're just assuming because I have obviously a male audience, but you never know. But Ghost, let us know. What do you do? I mean, are you a fighter or are you just a aspiring fighter? You just train? What's going on? Because you got some real feeling in that statement right there, which I like it. I mean, I love to hear it. That's dope.
From across the pond.
Right? Hell yeah. But Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. I think this will be a good fight. I feel like Rose has just been, she had that really bad fight against Carla Esparza where they just kind of stood there and did nothing. Both of them. And it was bad on both their parts, but it was real shitty for Rose because she lost her belt. So that sucked. Just training for fun. Damn. I need to feel that passionately about something.
I bet age has something to do with that.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But that's dope. I mean, good for you, man. Or girl. I'm not sure yet.
Especially for Muay Thai. Like, I have a couple friends that are close to our age that still train. And I couldn't start now and be where they are, but it keeps them in shape. It's pretty dope. He showed me some of it before, and I'm like, I would gas out pretty quick at this stage.
Hell yeah. Let's see. She had a big win against Amanda Hebos. Here you go. Maybe this is a good decision fighter for you because her past 4 fights have been by decision. But that's women fighting though. They kind of go to decision a lot, which sucks. But at the same time, you still get some good fights out of it. Rose had the win against Amanda Hebos last. She was on a 2-fight losing streak after that, or before that. That loss to Carla where she lost her belt. And then Manon Fiorot, she lost to as well. But Tracy Cortez is on a 5-fight win streak. Obviously, she's 5-0 in the UFC. 9 decision wins though, so there you go. Lots of decisions.
Yeah, that part.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is probably Tracy Cortez's hardest fight. I would say. So with Rose being that opponent, I don't know. This is gonna prove whether she's ready for it or not, I think. So
Would it be fun to watch?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jazz Davicius was Tracy Cortez's last opponent, and I mean she's tough, but she's not at the level of Rose Namajunas whatsoever. So it's kind of a big jump for Tracy Cortez, which, by the way, she's filling in because Rose was supposed to fight Macy Barber, and then Macy Barber got injured. And there's actually some heat between Rose and Macy. Macy Barber was kind of talking shit, so it was going to be a fun fight just to watch them, go at it after that. Rose doesn't really hold big grudges. She kind of shrugs everything off, but she'll definitely do the talking in the cage. So yeah, she talks with her hands. Yeah, equal lefts, equal rights, hands and feet, because this girl will kick the shit out of you. I mean, that's Exhibit A. Yeah, and then you got the uppercuts too. I mean, she's good at striking. She's good at angles. But her kicks are killer. And this is how she won the belt the second time, was this big kick against Weili Zhang, knocking her out. That was a good one. I was excited for that shit. Yeah. So, but Tracy Cortez has good boxing. She's actually a really good boxer from what I've seen. For MMA, she's really good at boxing. She keeps her strikes tight, and she keeps it proper. I mean, you don't see her flailing around and shit. She really has some good technique. She's pretty direct. She's pretty focused when she gets in there. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, she's got a little bit of everything. Lots of striking here. But then you get to submissions as well, which is how she beat her last opponent. Oh, look at that crank. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a decision win for her. But yeah, I think she had her in a submission like 3 or 4 different times where I was like, oh, it's for sure over. Nope. Yeah. Oh, it's for sure over. Nope. But yeah, so I mean, I feel like this is gonna be a good one. But I just don't know that as much as I would love to say Tracy's gonna win. I've been a Thug Rose fan for a long time, so I still why they call her that. What's that? There's a reason why they call her that. Yeah, for sure. So I still have confidence in her, and as much as I like Tracy Cortez, I'm not sure that she is at that level yet. I feel like she should have taken one, or at least one, if not 2 more fights, stepping up a little bit more gradually before she got to someone like Rose. But she can make a big statement here, winning this fight, beating a former UFC champ, and taking such a big leap in competition, especially on somewhat of a short notice and in high altitude and all that. Everything here, it's just making its way to be something that people launch their career off of. So this could be a good step up for her. And she was talking about the fact that, it doesn't sound like Valentina Shevchenko wants to fight Alexa Grasso next. So she's like, well, I'll be in line. If I can beat Rose, I'm beating an ex-champ, and that should put me right in line for a title shot. So that's a good strategy. Yeah, I mean, she can get it done. It'll be a big win for her.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be entertaining and worth the money, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, if she can finish her, holy shit.
Right.
Got to really catapult her. But here's
Absolutely.
my picks overall. Again, when I don't put money bags or money signs next to the main card picks, that means I'm not betting on it. So do what you will with this information. These are just my picks for the fight. I'm picking Rose Namajunas. I usually try to mix it up with favorites and underdogs, but this time I only got one underdog. Rose Namajunas, minus 218 favorite. Santiago Ponzinibbio, minus 185 over Muslim Salikhov. John Silva, minus 115. It's kind of a pick'em fight between him and Drew Dober. Dober was like minus 105. These are all from DraftKings Sportsbook as of today. So the Silva and Dober fight is kind of a toss-up, kind of a pick'em fight. I'm picking Silva, though. He's kind of on a tear right now, and it seems like he's ready to keep it going. And Dober is durable and all, but sometimes when he gets overwhelmed quickly, it doesn't turn out good for him. So Gabriel Bonfim with that ground game, minus 340, big favorite over whoever the fuck his opponent is. I don't remember now. God damn it. Is that Alhassan? No, that's who Brundage is fighting. Who is Bonfim fighting?
We just looked at him.
I know.
It was
stupid.
the dude from Congo.
No. Oh, Loosa. You're right.
Yeah.
Loosa. So again, because your statement, especially saying that it looks like he could gas out fairly quick.
Yeah.
Bonfim might take him into deep waters and do that, and then get a good.
If he lasts that long, I think he might get that.
Yeah. Christian Rodriguez, great fighter, good up and comer. Minus 230 favorite against Julian Erosa, and Erosa is kind of a streaky fighter type, and Rodriguez is just that guy who's hungry right now. So I feel like he is going to take this. And then Cody Brundage versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. He's a plus 142 underdog. Alhassan is the favorite, but I did go with Brundage as the underdog here. Might regret that one, but I'm not putting any money on it, so fuck it. And that does it for UFC on ESPN 59. And shit, at least you got through the technical difficulties. That sucks you had to take the computer, though. I mean, shit.
I think I know what it was. I got some ideas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was doing an update in the background, and it wasn't finished loading. Because while we're sitting here, that computer is in front of me, off in front.
Yeah.
And it's all loaded up waiting. And I was like, ooh, I'm not going to try and switch halfway through. Hey, Ghost, appreciate that. That's some dope flags right there.
Yeah. Thanks for all the interaction, guys. I mean, Cold Art Maker with all the questions, which I appreciate.
There's some good
because
ones, though. Yep.
definitely gets my mind going. And I was totally dropping the ball, not asking him for his picks, but he gave them to us, so that's dope. Ghost, keep training. That's badass. It sounds like you're passionate about it, and we appreciate that. And thanks for the interaction too. We're live here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Infinity's here whenever he is here. Depends on my schedule, really, because he's available right now because he's got an injury.
Don't rupture your Achilles tendon. That's the lesson for the day.
Yeah.
It takes forever to heal.
Yeah. So hopefully you get your technical difficulties out of the way. And what'd you do for the fourth, by the way? We didn't get to talk about it because you were...
Oh, yeah. I was over here punching computers.
Yeah.
The fourth, actually, I was watching your cast on the patio with the TV and the stereo on while I was just... If anything had a pulse, it was going on the grill. So I was just grilling up everything I could find. Nobody was really even here. It was just me chilling. But I was like, well, I'll just make my lunch for the week and chill outside, turn on some fans because it was still 100 and death. It's like 119, 18, something like that. Yeah. Something stupid. So just kicked it, cooked up some dead animals and made a few phone calls and a couple video chats. And that was about it. So nothing special, safe, cheap. That's the way it worked out. You know, my daughter was out of town. So I was like, all right, well, everybody else is doing their own family thing. So it's kind of what it was. Which mic is who using, me or... So E is on a pod mic. Right now I am on, which one is this? This is the Monocaster, but it's a condenser version of it. So it's using 48 volt phantom power.
Yeah, I'm on a Rode
normally
pod
it would be
mic.
clearer. Yeah, he's on the Rode pod mic. Normally mine would be clear, but I literally had to change my whole setup in the last 5 minutes. So I didn't have time to like tune anything. So looking at the levels, it should be legible, but normally I'm a little brighter and clearer than this.
Yeah, there's a little distortion and stuff in there, but yeah, you are usually a lot more clear than that and all and everything. But I mean, fuck it, we got through it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I
these
changed the whole setup in like 2 minutes. So
it actually sounds a lot better right now. You just sound a little low, but
I changed the gain structure.
oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean the pod mics are dope. I don't know if you're in the market for some microphones, but they're pretty cheap too. I mean, $100 will get you this type of pod mic. The USB version or USB XLR version is like 200. That's the newest version out. But it looks nice. It's all black. It comes with a like a form-fitted windscreen and all that.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
but I have 3 of these pod mics. You can see one in the background over there. And I like them all. I like them a lot. So I got those
Actually,
with a Rodecaster. It works out well.
if he goes back and looks at the viewing party, you'll get to see all 3 mics in use, and you can see
Yeah.
us. Like you could see all of us in that video.
Yeah, watch party for UFC 303 a couple weeks ago. Yeah, go back to that video. I'll post a card right here so you can click on it and just go right to it. But yeah, shit, that's it. I didn't have much else going on this weekend besides the game and some golf, and that was really it. I didn't really do much for the 4th either. So
You had like 6 days off. You couldn't figure out what day it was.
exactly. I did some shit around the house. Yeah, it felt like I golfed 2 weeks ago, not on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, it was a good weekend. I'm glad you made it on, man. I mean, it sucks that you had to deal with all that, but hopefully you'll get it all straightened out, worked out, and
It's all good. It's a live show. That stuff happens.
yeah. And I just figured I'd hang in there and see.
Yeah, I
if you-
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was listening to you on just a regular speaker while I was like running around and trying to grab stuff. So I wasn't
That's
too
cool.
far off topic. I was like, all right, I know what's going on. Cool.
Yeah. No, we always have fun doing this, man, and I like having a guest on. So, and you having the time makes it easy. Don't
It's
have to worry
awesome.
about much. We still
Plus,
put it
usually-
together last minute sometimes, but
Hey, but you also know what you want to talk about. So it's
Yeah.
easy to come in like, all right, I know we're going to do this, and this. I know about that. I don't know about that. But so it just works out. And everybody watching, appreciate that too.
yeah, it's fun. Thanks everybody for watching. Come back next Thursday. We'll talk about a recap of UFC on ESPN 59. I believe we have the I forgot what the next card is. Shit.
I don't have it memorized.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But next weekend is the Mike Perry versus Jake Paul fight as well. So we'll be covering that because I have to, because Mike Perry is the fucking king of violence. And I definitely want to talk about that shit because I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Mike Perry knock the shit out of Jake Paul. Whether he beats him or not, I don't give a shit. I just want to see him punish him a little bit. Let Jake Paul get hit some, like for real get hit. And I think Mike Perry can do that. Whether he wins or not, I don't know. But I think he can definitely punish him. So come back if you guys want to check that out and listen to us go over that. And then we'll recap, preview, and just have some more good talk in the mix. So thanks again for joining in. Thanks again, Infinity.
Thank
And
you.
everybody come back next week. 7 p.m., normal time, normal place. We're out of here. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the fights. Take it easy. Peace.
Later.